guys, look at that. We are finally making a dent. We're also seeing some of our tubs come to the surface. We got some Tron, episode 1. These are all vintage card to Robotech. There's a Lunk sealed. We got some SPD, some, I think that's Code Lyoko. We got Robotech, Brazilian Transformers, more Star Wars. We got to purge that stuff. That looks interesting. Anything that's bagged like that is mean to protect it. That means it's worth more money. So let's keep crunching away. Here is the next box. 3 3/4 inch Machine Medicine Sans Frontières. This is a gorgeous 3 3/4 inch figure of a malnutritioned man. It's, oh my God, look at the package art. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is from France, if I'm correct. I don't think it's Canadian. And look at the variety of characters. There's Abdu, that's the figure I have here. There's Melissa, there's Samba, there's the medical team. There's the guy with the radio. So I guess he's the most useless of the medical team. He just sits there listening to the radio. Good job, asshole. So this line is amazing. The fact that A, it was made. B, it is absolutely, as I said before, it's gorgeous artwork. Well-made 3 3/4 inch figures, and that is part C, that they are 3 3/4 inch figures. And for me personally, I love all medical. So I actually had to pick one of these up. They're not that expensive. Once you find these in France or online in France, even ebay.fr, France, they might be 20 bucks each. They're not rare at all, but they are beautiful. I recommend it. They got a little bio card there too. Super sweet. Oh, and I just noticed these are from 1989. So these really are truly vintage 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joes. Ah, the Data. This is speckled face Data. That was a whole thing back then. So when these toys were being made in the early, mid-90s, the variations, like there wasn't much toys being produced. So everyone's excited. Every variation that you could count, is that rare? Is it worth money? And the scalpers, ugh. I think this used to go for around $200. If I'm correct, this is the rarer variant, or is it not? Nonetheless, nobody cares to this date. They're just fun figures to have. I personally have the Romulan. My brother has the Wesley Crusher. I'm actually in discussion right now of getting a few more key pieces for this line, but Star Trek toys in general just don't hold strong value, but it holds a strong fandom. Supernaturals, again, yellowing bubble, that's depressing. $1.99, that came from Evans, which we'll talk about in the future. Here is a backer card for the Robot Machine Men. This is the Canadian version. These came out before GoBots came out, just the 6 characters. I love my GoBots. I don't like Behavior B because you destroyed the package. So Behavior B, if you're out there, screw you, man. You're a monster. This is my childhood buggy kit box because I love my GoBots. Oh, I got a TikTok in here. Oh, I got Gang. I'm sorry. Can't get their names right as I'm reading it. 4 in the morning, people. That is a trashy card there. I have an entire GoBot collection. I should have Gong, so you are for sale. The digital watch. Digital watch. That is some gorgeous artwork, to be honest with you. But the digital watch, you know what? I mean, look at that. This was on the ground in my attic of my first house I was in as a child growing up. And I was collecting toys. So you can see the debris in the bottom. I put that on eBay. Might get $50. Oh my God. The 90s KO of Two Faces Devil. Not Two-Face Devil. It's Two Faces. The owl guy is awesome. These are... So I think this is the first series. The second series had the more, shorter legs. Really decent, cheap bubble. I think they're like $75 to $100 each. They used to be worth more, but more of these popped up. That happens at these KO He-Man market. You'll have this, I think it was about 5 years ago, there was some very difficult figures to get. I cannot remember their names right now, but they had wacky color outfits and armor. They're very rare, $200 each. And then somebody found cases of them like in Greece. And that was the whole market just collapsed. And that happens. It happens, man. We got some gorgeous Photon figures. Leon, Las Vegas. Those are bug-ass eyes on him. Oh my God, it's like a baby Leon compared to the actual Leon from LJN. Collect this stuff. Love this stuff. Oh my God, he is so difficult to get that full-size figure of Lord Bathan. I did finally acquire one. we have Starry Yours. You know what? These need more love. I mean, the thing that doesn't make these things sell too well for a lot of collectors today is the fact that they're not really action figure oriented. If you think about it, they are literally just vehicles and rings. But for your pro tip of the day, if you are unaware, Star Wars made a major motion picture debut in a very popular and beloved movie. You guys didn't know? If you look at Spaceballs, when Yoda is explaining the merchandise. If you look in the background, there are Star Wars with Spaceballs logos placed over the Star Wars. Those are all Star Wars toys, which is kind of crazy. It's like when you watched Star Trek Generations. I remember seeing it as a kid. And the Christmas scene when Jean-Luc Picard goes back and sees like the family that could be. There's a kid playing with an evac fighter from Aliens. And like, seriously, why would you do that? Just fun Bandai Tonka stuff. No money involved. I just like those things. We have this was on my shelf. It got destroyed, faded. I think it might be dead stock, so I'll keep it for now. Oh my God, Monster in My Pocket. Such childhood memories. Series 3, not so much, more difficult, but the original Series 1 mainly for me. Still would love that artwork. All this is keep almost, except for the couple things I did pull. We have a thermos in here. Is there more in here? Nope, just the thermos. Like there's still liquid in there. Still some soup in there. I'm hungry, man. Keep. And then this is the Canadian version. It's much cheaper. Like they're just like, we are not going die cast like Aladdin. We're just making this cheapy stuff. So I literally did pay $0.25 for this when I used to visit Toronto and Hamilton as a child, and we would go garage sale hunting with my brother and my mom all the time, finding cool stuff. And that's why this one's still here, because it's just, I really have a lot of good memories of those times. I remember visiting Silver Snail. It was good. They're photon carded. Those are like $15 each. These lunch boxes are not too big of money. I'd probably say like 35, 60, but probably like 30 for the condition. That's just how it is, man. And again, just going back, if you want to get an idea, like 50 tops, 35, maybe 45, $10, probably 10 to 15 each. You know, when I see this stuff and I get excited, the money doesn't really matter for me. So we got here. This one's wrapped. Oh my Lord, look at that. So that's great. I need to get these out of here. This is all 6 carded. So do I have... Okay, so I know what's going on here. Puzzlers here, and they are a zany combiner compared to what Takara established. They really don't hold in so well. But these came from Bakugan 1996. I know, ancient history. First show I've ever been to, a guy had cases of these. $1 each. So I was like, man, I better pony up and buy one of each. And these were on display on my wall in the first house I was growing up in. But the yellow Lamborghini, which I did get as a kid, fell off the card, so I only have 5 of them. These are in really clean shape. I'm not sure if I have any in the other room in my collection that's set aside for carded GoBots. These are about $75 to $100 each in this condition. Really nice. My life. Robotech, this is the Playmates one. I was shocked as a kid when these were in Toys R Us, because when I was younger, I looked for all over Robotech toys. They were extremely difficult to find secondhand markets. I saw the ads of Comico comics for Robotech, and I was like, oh my God, you know, it said Trotty Battle Pod, Officer Pod, Alpha Fighters. And I was realizing this well after they're out of the store. So I walked in Toys R Us. Wow, they're all there reissued for Exo Squad. So this is a keeper, not big bucks, about 15. This is the carded Depth Charge, which actually is a pretty cool Transformer, exclusive to one of the Bakugans. I'm going to let this one go. Not big bucks, $75, but like I have great memories of some of the Bakugans, the earlier ones, 90s, 2000s. As it went on later, it just became like the same old to me, which is based upon my viewpoint of it, but also how it was run, the exclusives. It just became cookie cutter, I would say. These are awesome. Dungeons and Dragons candy. Still sealed. Love that Bone Dragon. I had that poster on my wall. So we have 2 sets, and they have little bio cards here of various creatures and so owlbear, hell yeah, minotaur. These are very difficult. I collect D&D action figures and a little few things here and there, but none of the actual RPG, though I love that stuff in general. These might be $50 each, to be honest with you. And if I pop one out, if this is a duplicate back to it, I'll sell it. And of course it's not. Duplicate back. No. I'm going to assume that one's not either. So this is stuff I'm going to keep for now. May debate about in the later years. But trying to keep all vintage 80s and 90s and a little spattering of the 2000s. They're fun and cool. We are on to the Howlers. Faded package on the wall for so many years. Does it still work? No. Oh, the eyes light up. It's trying to live. About 25, 30 in this condition. Monster High Pocket's extremely popular, but they're all hung up on those variants in South America and clear and dark tones. And I'm still okay with just having the characters. I personally would love to find the original artwork. We have droids on cassette. Do you see that on the top? That's Commodore 64. This is a video game. Did you know some of the games that were being produced in the 80s were actually on cassette? So yes, if you flip it over, this was produced in Europe only. There you go. Look at that. No idea on the value of this piece at this moment. This is a very unique, fun piece. I'll hold on to it for now. I have a few droids collection. Metal Men package. You can sell that. Machine Robo insert. We'll see if instruction booklet's there. See what character it goes to. Bandai Godaiken. Godaikens were always expensive as snot. I'll never forget this one guy who's local. I call him Godaiken guy because I got to the flea market and I was like 17 years old. And he's walking out of the flea market as I'm walking in. And he's holding like 3 box Godaikens. And from then on, I'm really horrible at remembering people's names. So I just give them the nickname. So he was Godaiken guy for the last 20 years. This is the actual package of my drench that I opened as a kid. Like, we're at that point. It's like, do you have to save everything from your childhood? And the answer is really no. But do I actually have a packaged drench? I don't think so. Okay, we'll debate about that one. Oh, sweet. Seal. To wrap this up, a dead stock sealed Generation 2 slag. Very sweet. The package, everything, the design, a little bubble ding there. About $100 a quarter, maybe $200 push. I spent a while. It's not the rare variant, which the rarest one is the silver, or debatable if it's the red for slag, but green for snarl, because snarl is usually found in red. You guys know all this, of course. So, wow. This tub right here is just a decent amount of money for you guys. If you collect Power Rangers, you have Gal Ranger. This is the limited set. That was production color and a little bit off versus the original set here. And we're going to get into a discussion about how I picked these up. I'm sorry. This is the limited edition color. This is when he's a bad guy. This is when he's the good guy. Pretty much still the same toy, just different packages. Wow. So happy I was smart enough to keep one of each of these. So when I was in Japan, not when these were coming out, but this is like probably like 2012, 2013, I'd be going there twice a year. All of this stuff was just dirt cheap. You can pick up Morphers box, Wild Force, SPD Morphers. Some of the older ones were more expensive, but nothing where the market is right now. But you can pick up a lot of these, including, well, this guy was worth nothing. I just picked up for $4.50. That's on blowout discount. This is like $5 for this. But this one was always special. So I would go to like Mandarake or a lot of other toy stores. This is Bakiki from Dino Thunder, Aba Ranger in Japan. This character was never produced outside of Japan. So this is a full deluxe Megazord attachment with the upper right Morpher clip-on headgear for the Pachycephalosaurus. That's Sen Gojuin. That's about $10 I paid. Now I'd sell these for about $85. And the market would fluctuate here and there. And of course, now it's a bit cheaper because you can pick this stuff up a lot easier than it was 10 years ago. It's just how the internet is. So I picked up these. I kept one of each for myself because I do collect these. These are wonderful pieces. This is also an exclusive to Japan, the elephant. And they caught on to these pretty quickly. So when I was picking this stuff up, he was like 15, 20. He was much more difficult to get than, let's say, these guys were. And I mean, he's like $60 now. He's probably about $100 a quarter. Oh my God, the bears. And I didn't get, is this the Chinese one? Oh, this is the Chinese ones. This is a lesser quality. It's licensed, but not worth as much by a long shot. So, but here's a cute story for you guys. I walked into Hirogangu in Osaka, Denden town. And I was just shocked because he really is a great guy. And his prices, depending on what you want, overall tend to be a little high to just amazing in my opinion. So I usually spend quite a bit of money there. When I walked in for these box sets for the Aba Ranger, he had just bought out an entire toy store that went under. I was just aghast at the prices. I should have been smarter. I should have been so much smarter. So to give you an idea, oh, actually, you can see it right there on this one. This is dead stock. This should still be completely sealed. Look at that price. Nisen Happyaku. That's $28 sealed for an original deluxe Japanese Bandai Aba Ranger Megazord. Not Gao Resort. Oh my God. It's again, this is late at night. I'm doing it's like 4 in the morning. It's Predazord. There we go. Thank you very much. He had probably 15 to 20 of each of these. I bought these. This is literally, oh yeah, this is the year after Fukushima happened. I remember now because I should have been smarter. I never took the taxis. I should have bought more stuff. I should have been, because at the time I was selling these for $100 a quarter a pop, paying $25. You have to ship them back. And I remember carrying the giant yellow Mandarake bags in the rain. And this is like not a bit after Fukushima, but not like a year after. And I remember a friend saying, don't stand in the rain, because there was just so much going on of information, let alone possible misinformation. And I remember I have my hoodie up, I have a jacket on, like then a hoodie, I have these big yellow bags, and they're just bulging full of these die-cast figures, and it's drizzling out, and I haven't protected. But I just never forgot that because of the amount of weight. I couldn't really escape from Denden Town to the Mitsu, the red line, let's just say it that. And my brain's just farting. It's 4 a.m. And I had to carry them like half a block and put them down because in total it's like 60 pounds of just die-cast toy goodness. And it's just a memory I'll never forget. But I was smart enough to keep one of each. So these are all personal collection. See, same price. And I'm glad I kept a fair amount of these at least. I don't think I have every single Wild Force, Gao Ranger, Zord, or Aba Ranger, but still, it's nice to get the main Megazords, even though these are technically Megazords too. Those were good times, man. Those were good times. Of course, if that's the time frame I'm thinking about, I can't pull the year out right now with my brain being so slow. I would have been better, obviously, to invest in a majority of other things too, but who knows? Check this out. This is all Hone, bone. So if you did any research on these from the previous episode I talked about them, it's an amazing line. So let's go through. Oh my God, I bought so many. I think some of these are earlier ones. I think they definitely are. So, oh yeah, these are actually the first ones I ever bought. Check this out. T-Rex, Gorilla. Oh, the little blue pieces can combine into a super character. Absolutely amazing. And again, they're like $2 each. How can you go wrong? So I think this is series 7. I mean, it's been a while since I've looked at this stuff. So I was buying these. These are the ones that really got me in the series. These might be earlier. These might be, no. These are literally just like the series after. The market had already established itself, so finding Series 1 or 2 or 3, they were already expensive. I think Series 1 might have been for 8 characters like $150 at that time, which is like, I ain't paying that. I can only imagine what they are now. I don't think they're that much more, but this market in Japan is blossoming, while in the US, everyone's like, what? So we got those characters. We have these. And this is later. I think this might be like series 10. And again, so I would let me show you guys the set. Sorry about that. So they started doing like larger versions. This I think is the first 2-pack series that came out. Gosh, I love this series. And they're just plain Jane, wonderful glow-in-the-dark skeletons. These have no combiner aspect. It's just nice, wholesome figures. And they're just so creative. All the limbs are ball socket, so you can just place them in our characters, as you can see there. So I think at the current market, these might be the original Series 7, about $20 each, $25 each. And at this point, I don't know what the market is, but I can't just keep sitting on this stuff. So let's start selling some of these off. Just keep a set of 8 for myself. And I think we can purge quite a bit of these, and it'll add up financially. If I'm wrong, I'll let you guys know, but it's going to be very hard to figure out. Oh, here's another set. The box is open because it's all in the Japanese market.